Hi, and welcome to day 5 already of a week of wonder. I'm wearing turquoise today. There's 2 more colors to go. I'm stoked you're still here. It must mean that you're getting something out of it, and that makes me very happy. It's a very cool day today. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Yesterday, we talked about sacred time and how there's kairos and chronos time and how they're different. So one of them's sacred and the other is prophetic. And here's something really crucial to understand about this. If you're out of balance between kairos and chronos, and you're basically spending most of your time in chronos time, in profane time, so you're just ticking things off your to-do list most of the day, you are going to feel chronically tired because all of that stuff is tiring. Whereas the things that you do in kairos time, in sacred time, give you energy. They are generative. So this practice of knowing what puts you in that state and then doing more of it and being intentional about it will be so great for you, but not only you, but everyone around you. Because in this process of uncovering, of picking up rocks, looking underneath them, eating all the breadcrumbs, and knowing what it is that puts you in a state of wonder and doing more of it will make you feel more alive. Like I said, it's a revelatory process. So you become more of yourself in the process. And that person that knows who they are, knows what they love, and are intentional about doing that, they're not just serving themselves, but it has a ripple effect on their entire ecosystem. You become magnetic. You become that person that knows what they are for. And that is way more charismatic and good for everyone than being a person that is focused on what they're against. That's what we talked about yesterday. And in this process, you're becoming, it's a process of becoming. And that, just as belonging, is a core psychological need, just as important as food and water. So if you are in a place in life where you feel a bit stagnant and domesticated, it's possible that you don't have access to that becoming, to that revelatory process of how can you increase your relationality with the world, how can you spend more time in sacred time, and how can you become more of yourself in the process and therefore being in service to everyone around you. I can talk about this for hours, but it's really cool. So through becoming proactive about lowering your threshold for wonder, through becoming proactive about what sacred time means for you and doing more of it, you increase not only your sense of belonging to the place that you live and the people in it, but you also tick that box of becoming more of yourself and having a ripple effect in the world. It seems all very simple and innocent, but it's a door. A door opens that's hard to close once you've opened it. And seeing as you're still here, it must mean that something has been stirred inside you, that something has been enlivened, that you are curious about what door to open next or what door you will find behind this door. And I love seeing what you're doing, the posts you're tagging me in, the things that make you feel alive. It's inspiring. So keep tagging me, keep posting things. That is also a way to be in relationship with this. Plus, you can win an amazing prize on day 7. So keep doing that. As you share with other people, maybe you have bought the enthusiast kit and you are in a wonder pod in your family and you're sharing stories at the dinner table about your adventures. You are also inspiring people in the process. So becoming each other's witnesses in becoming. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, today we are going to step into a relationship with the mystery. Remember how I talked about the taxonomy of wonder, and there's all these different ways that you can become wonderstruck. And we all have a different proclivity for that. So it's curious to be finding out what the things are for you to get you in a state of wonder. But one that is pretty universal, I think, is your relationship with the mystery. So the moments where you experience a presence to God, Mother Earth, the universe, whatever you want to call that, or whatever that relationship is like to you. And that's what we're going to call in today. So what we're going to do is consult an oracle. And here's how you're going to do it. You're going to write down your most beautiful, important question that you have in your life right now. And it could be something along the lines of, something I would really like to know is ... Or I'm curious about the next step in order to ... What is the thing that I need to know about this situation? So you find a question that's a clear question. Like if you were to read it, you knew what the question is. It doesn't start with why. The mystery will be like, no why questions. It's a clear question with, what do I need to do about? What's the first step I need to take? What do I need to know about this thing? That type of question. And then as you leave the house, you say the question out loud so that you program your reticular activating system. Remember, you're being intentional. You program your reticular activating system. You have a question. You walk into the world with that sense of reciprocity, intentionality, proactivity, and you see what is reflected back to you. Now, something to know about oracles. Like if you think, for example, about the Oracle of Delphi, the Pythia in ancient Greece, is that oracles do not speak rational language. So the images you may get, the answers you may get, will not be a pros and cons list, probably. It will be more like colors, words, images. So your answer might come in the form or the shape of a number plate or a billboard or a song on the radio. If you want to help the oracle along a bit, what you could do is ask the question, open Spotify, look for a playlist. There's a really great Wonder playlist in the Enthusiast kit, for example, just saying. And you ask your question and you hit shuffle and you see what you get. In the same vein, you can do something called bibliomancy, which means you take a book and you could, for example, go to a library if that's not a place that you like to spend a lot of time to do something new. We're compounding all these invitations. Remember, the more you can do, the more will get stirred. You could walk into a library, ask your question, and then intentionally take a book, open it randomly, put your finger somewhere, and that is your answer. So you're consulting an oracle. Today is the day of being in a relationship with the mystery. And my final comment on that is, this could be the one that you're like, oh, I'm going to skip that one. I highly recommend you don't. This is where it gets interesting. When we start opening this door to wonder, lowering the threshold to wonder, to awe, to being in deeper relationship with the world, to increasing our sense of belonging, all of that stuff, we automatically increase our relationship with the mystery. It's just a fun byproduct. Your proclivity for synchronicity and serendipity will increase. You're also someone that's intentional now, so your reticular activating system is working for you. You're a person who is for something instead of against something. That puts the whole thing in motion. We live in a culture where the primary window of knowing is the rational mind. That's just a result of the Enlightenment period, the industrialization that followed. It's our current zeitgeist. Other windows of knowing that are just as relevant and important are just not celebrated or trusted that much. Intuition, inspiration, imagination, feelings, sensations. However, we do need them. And going on these adventures is also stretching into new ways of perceiving the world, being open to new ways of receiving information, like being inspired. And so being in relationship with the mystery would be opening yourself for inspiration. Inspiration means spirit coming in. Consulting an oracle would fall into that category. You're allowing for inspiration to move through you so that you have a different perspective on the question that you are asking that is not just informed by your rational mind. Isn't this so cool? So, you're going on a hot date with the mystery today. I can't wait to hear what you find out. Please tell me all about it. Tag me, get the enthusiast kit if you want more podcasts, movies, a playlist, a meditation, things to talk about around the dinner table. Really very high value for only $11. Get involved. Do it. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.